Hey guys, welcome back to Manifest Beauty Academy podcast. Teona Douglas here, your intuitive coach, and I help you with your intuition so you can trust yourself better. Of course, you all know that I am passionate about female entrepreneurs, helping them navigate limiting beliefs and help them with their thriving business. So today we have Nichola Philip. So Nichola is also an intuitive guidance coach. She's a professional redefiner and Nichola is an intuitive guidance coach, professional redefiner, and creator of high vibe custom manifestation jewelry. Her mission is to help people reconnect to their inner power. Huge, that's huge. Also stepping into lives that they absolutely deserve. Nichola, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here. You're here for a reason. Shoot me a message on Instagram or on Facebook at NowDesignLife or send an email to nowdesignlife@gmail.com. I'd love to know what comes up for you when you listen to this podcast. You were here for a reason. As you're listening to things that are happening to what we were discussing, just keep note of what insights may come to you. Shoot me a message. Let me know what happened. You can connect with me on Facebook or on Instagram at NowDesignLife or send an email to nowdesignlife@gmail.com. Let's start with what spirituality means to us and when it first appeared in our lives. Teona, do you want to start with that?
Absolutely. For me, spirituality started in my life at a very, very young age. My grandmother, both grandmothers actually, one was Baptist, one was Pentecostal. I went to church with them every single weekend, including Wednesday Bible study. And that's what it looked like for me, my spirituality. And then as I got older, my mom, she gave me the option of continuing to go to church or, kind of doing my own thing. And then that's when I realized that my mom has been always doing her own thing, but she just never really talked to us about it. She's like, this is what society wants you to learn. So I'm going to uphold that. And this is what my grandmother, this is what my mom, my mother, my grandmother have taught me. So I'm going to uphold that. And I realized when I was like 4 or 6, that I started to have imaginary friends. And I say that with air quotations because I started speaking to spirits at a very, very young age. And no one explained it to me. It was just something that you don't talk about because that's it. You don't talk about it.
One time my mom came home and she found me on the roof of the house. Yes, the roof of the house. She had to get the firefighters to come and get me down off the house. And she asked me, how did you get up there? And I simply said, my imaginary friend told me to go up there. Later on, I found out that there was a person who lived in the house with his wife and daughter, and he killed his wife and daughter and then killed himself. And my imaginary friend that I kept seeing was that little girl.
And so that's what spirituality looked like to me. It was, on one hand, whatever is accepted, talk about that. But on the other hand, there's this secret way of how you really feel, how you're really doing things. And it's just kept sacred to yourself. But I felt like I was hiding a piece of myself. I don't know. How do you feel?
Mm-hmm. I think, well, for me, it was a little bit different with my upbringing. Really, we didn't really go to church. For us, it was all about music. We love music. So literally every Sunday we'd put tunes on. It could be like R&B, dance. It could be even gospel, everything. And we would just dance around the house and sing and do all kinds of stuff. No matter where we were, in the car, and the house, always music playing somewhere. Whenever we moved, first thing you set up your blinds in your house, you get your stereo going. Every single time, those are the key elements. It was always music for us. So I think it's a form of spirituality for me, I guess, in a way, because it's it changes your vibration. You have that connection to something that isn't you. And it's spirituality for me, it's knowing something else is bigger in the world than I am. And I think in a small level, that's kind of music is kind of like that for me because it helps me just get out of my mind and just take time with something different and a different energy, a different spirit. And it's something that's very universal. You don't have to speak the same language. Just with, if you go to church, you still have that same energy. You feel that same connection with people around you, right? Different cultures, different beliefs, even in different ways. But then when you are with someone, the music, you feel the music, you feel it, you move. When you're Pentecostal, right? You've got music. You're singing the songs, and that's that connection that connects everyone together in many different ways. All churches have some kind of element of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think one thing that is important for me as well too is my mom always instilled in me, you just treat others with respect. It doesn't matter what they believe. Everyone has their beliefs, but you still honor each other for what they believe. And you don't downplay people's beliefs. You don't treat them ill. You just love everyone. I think I've always also loved the architecture of buildings. I love architecture, but just being in a cathedral or being in a church, it just takes you to a different place, a different part of yourself. And I feel that that's always been something that I've been drawn to, even though I haven't really gone to church a lot. It's just even being in a church gives me peace. So I see people, how that could be a wonderful part of people's lives.
I feel like it's structured differently too. Have you noticed that? Like a church, inside, there's a lot of like curvature, high ceilings, echo. Like I feel like with the curvature of the building, mm-hmm. and also gargoyles. I don't know if you know a lot about gargoyles, but they actually warn off negative spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Have gargoyles on churches. And it is. Mm-hmm. It's a different energy. I completely agree.
Most definitely. And even just even in being in certain churches, you just feel small in a good way.
Yeah, right?
You feel like that presence around you, right? Like you're being lifted up to something else because the ceiling is literally high, right? It makes you feel like something else is with you. And that's why I've always been drawn to that architecture and in those spaces as well. Speaking about space, have you ever thought about how it looks like to have a safe space to express your spirituality?
Okay, so this is huge for me because I feel like that's why I created my TikTok.
Okay, tell me about that.
Yeah, so like to have a safe space where you can freely ask questions about spirituality and not feel like you're judged for asking that question. That was one thing that was really difficult for me growing up, is that like I would ask all these questions and pastors would look at me like, you should take it up with the Lord in prayer. And I'm like, but if you go to school as a lawyer and I hire you to be my lawyer and I ask you a question, I could take it up with the Lord in prayer, but then it's not going to win me my case. You know what I mean? Like,
you need to answer.
You went to school for this, sir.
Yeah, teach me.
Right. And it's just like, it was like the more that people didn't have answers for me, it was the more that I was like, I need to figure it out for myself. And there aren't a lot of safe spaces where you could just ask a question and not feel judged. So that's the main reason why I started my TikTok, because I was literally just tired of being judged. So I was like, you want to judge me? Okay. Like either I sit in a corner and be like this small, you're going to judge me because you see the legend and not feel judged. So that's the main reason why I started my TikTok, because I was literally just tired of being judged. So I was like, you want to judge me? Okay. Like either I sit in a corner and be like this small, you're going to judge me because you see the light within me. Right. Or I'm on the stage with Beyonce. I don't know the words, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
where you're going to judge me. So listen, how about you judge me and watch me like TV on TikTok? Because this is it. This is all I got. This is me. If you have a problem with it, that's a problem for you, not me. And so all these people started gravitating towards me, and I was just like, I'm not the only one. You know what I mean? I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Right.
What does space look like for you? Because you do something very similar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's kind of what struck me with what you said was, whether we play it small or we play it big, people might want to judge us. But if you play it big, we're putting ourselves out there, and so much more can come from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that you stepped out of that. Yeah.
Just like there's more, just like you can attract more negativity, you can attract more love. But I choose to live in love and not look at that to hold me back. And that's what I attract. I attract all these amazing, loving people that I wouldn't have known if I didn't start my TikTok.
It's true. It's true. I think when I look at my safe space, like my parents and I, they've separated when I was very young, but I was always taught that I was loved. So even though their relationship didn't stay together, it didn't affect how I felt about myself. So from both sides, I felt the love from them. And I would say, like, I always felt supported by them as well too. But this the metaphysical side of my spirituality kind of came from when I started working in a metaphysical store, like crystals, gemstones. It was also like a healing spa as well too. So it was kind of like extremely alternative. So every day we'd have those conversations about, I think I'm hearing voices, I'm connected with spirit on this level. People would come in and say, I have something really strange to tell you. I'd be like, okay, what's that going to be? And they're like, well, I talk to spirit. I'm like, okay, so what's the strange part? Because that's normal for me now, because I hear it all the time, right?
Yeah.
So it's totally different kind of than your experience, because it happened for me as an adult. And it was a space where that was just the norm conversation.
Okay.
Yeah. So like people would come in and talk about, I feel this crystal, I feel this gemstone, I feel connected to, this thing is calling me, like I feel this energy from something here, or I feel drawn to this, or I've seen this sign. And all these things that people that may not be familiar with that would be like, oh, really? Okay. Because they may not be experienced with that, or it may not seem normal for them. But I think that's the safe space that I was kind of put into, allowed me to have my journey on a different path as an adult.
This is the other thing. So a lot of my clients are just like, well, how come I'm not there yet? Or how everyone has their own journey, no matter what it is. And
exactly.
You're not gonna ever miss it. Nope. Like you're grown up and you're going through that. It's like, you're not gonna miss it. Whatever's for you is for you. And it happens for you when it's supposed to. Oh, that's a t-shirt.
I'll wear it. I think it's funny too, is that you talked about not sharing that side of you with the world. It was interesting because even at work, there was one customer came in and she said, she was at a family function, and one of her crystals fell out of her pocket, and she like mortified. She scrambled on the ground trying to find scurrying to pick it up. and their cousin looks at her and says, "Wait a minute, you like crystals too?" And she immediately went from like the fear of like, oh my God, what are they going to think about me, to, oh, she gets me.
Yeah. Oh.
Right. And she could express that joy with each other. They could share that. But I mean, they've been doing it for years and hadn't even said to each other until that moment where that fell out. If it didn't fall out, maybe she would never have explained it. They would never had that connection. So it's like, I think more people out there are into these things than we think they are. And when you said, when you're in that vibration, you're in that love, those people are drawn to you.
Yes.
You have those conversations, those connections, they're there, and they'll come into your life when it's time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, like, why even rush it? It's like, I would rather wait a few extra years for something amazing to happen to me than like rush it and be like, oh no, I can't hold on to this vibration. Oh no, this vibration too hot. Ow. Like
I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. Help me, universe, help me, please.
Right.
But it's like shoot. And then sometimes also when you feel like you're on a spiritual roll, like, okay, I'm getting this information. Give me more information. And the universe is like, whoop.
Yeah, that's enough.
Calm down. That's enough for right now. Deal with that for right now. And then I'll give you a little bit more. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, fine.
We know about that. Right, Teona? getting this together. It was like challenge, boom, challenge, boom, challenge. We're like, yeah, no, we're going. Knock it out of the way. Keep going. We're going. Universe challenge. We're like, no, out.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like that's another thing is that like people are like, oh well, I'm having bad luck right now, you know, because we could have easily said, Nichola, before we started this podcast, we could have easily said, you know what, we give up.
Yeah.
Universe, you didn't like, you know, but we both had synchronistic signs of us supposed like having to do this episode. So I'm super excited that we did.
Same. On the page. Love it.
I was just thinking of another tangible aspect because sometimes it's difficult for people to have blind faith. And you need a lot of blind faith when you're going through your spiritual journey. And so going back to those synchronicities, like you were saying, like, what was that synchronicity you said earlier? Like you had to be upstairs to see the fire truck.
Yeah. Okay. So I get signs all over the place. People are like, okay, maybe you're stretching it a little bit. I'm like, I'm not, because it's really a sign. Okay. So this is my life. So Teona and I are getting ready to do this podcast, and I had to kind of move my location, and I went upstairs and I'm sitting by the window, and all of a sudden I look out as we're about to start, and the cars have moved to the side of the road, which means that this fire truck is coming out. And every time I see a fire truck, it means you are on the path. Like, this is your message. Just keep doing what you're doing. And it was like, we're just about to press record, and it was like, boom, it was there. I got goosebumps, all tingly. It was perfect. And I absolutely love the universe. And even feeling that moment made me feel even more excited to be here with you, Teona.
Oh my gosh.
Right? So we're getting reaching for Kleenex. Insert Kleenex reach here.
Like, we're so like, for me, I can only speak for me.
Yeah.
It's just the excitement of belonging and sharing your passion and having someone understand it.
Mm.
So anyway, going back to synchronicity, like that, seeing that fire truck is like that instant, okay, I know everything's fine. You know, sometimes we do need to call on our spiritual council, what I like to call our spiritual council, which comprises of our ancestors, our spiritual, our angel guides, and our higher self, a combination. So I call that the spirit council. Sometimes we need to call upon our spirit council to be like, hey, I think I'm having a bit of a rough time, or like, I just need you guys to show me a sign. Like, I need a feather right now, like a penny.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah,
it's okay to ask for those synchronicities if you need help.
Yeah. Ask for them.
Yeah. And
ask for them just on a regular basis. Just practice doing it.
Yes.
And that's how you get strengthened in those practices as well, too. Sorry to interrupt. I was very excited about that.
No, thank you. And through those synchronicities is where you find your path. Is where you find your path, and where the universe, I feel like it's a little kiss from the universe.
It is. Ooh, I like that.
Chef's kiss.
I love it.
Right? So synchronicities are literally chef's kiss to you, saying, you're there, and don't give up. Actually, I've been doing a lot of tarot readings lately, and that's been a consistent message. So I don't know that like a lot of people that are gravitating towards me at this point are just like, oh, I'm ready to give up. But that's been a huge channeled message that I've been getting lately through tarot. You're almost there.
I love it.
The signs if you need it.
I think a lot of people need to hear that right now with what's going on in their world, in the world at large, right? Like, I think that's maybe why it's coming through so often, is that it's not just that person. It's like everyone needs to know that a statement for themselves, to hold it in their hearts as well, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too when you look at things that are tangible, right? Like, some people may have a crystal and they might hold that. Is the crystal doing the work, or are you doing the work? It doesn't matter. In the end, the work is being done. Sometimes having that tangible element kind of helps to move to the next levels, things that are more untangible. I would say like even the jewelry that I make like bracelets and necklaces that are based on the person's intention to help strengthen it, to help ignite it. It's like a reminder to have it in front of you. If you're feeling a certain way, you put it on, you connect with it, you hold it. It's like a tangible reminder of what you're creating for yourself. If it's a vision board you want to create, you see it in front of you. That may be another way people can get that tangible aspect of things as a basis as they move forward. I would say even when we're looking at things like manifestation, that's also kind of a tangible thing because in the end, you get the result, which is your goal manifested, right? It in a way, maybe it's part of it's intangible because, you know, you're doing things, but it's very action based. You put the intention out there, but you have to take the steps to do the things. If you're just sitting there being like, oh, I really wish, you know, this is going to happen. I really hope this is going to happen and do nothing. Fire truck. Fire truck went by again. Thank you, universe. Then nothing's going to happen for you. I think even like when I think about manifestation with my clients as well too, it's looking at it from a dream state. You're looking at it, you close your eyes, you dream about what it's going to look like. And when you're dreaming, it's this realm of possibility. If you have something you want to achieve and you think about it, even the word think, it feels heavy sometimes. And it kind of adds all these constraints, these but in reality, you know, you can't really do that because this is, you know, you're thinking about it. Your mind is already locked into what you know to be possible. When you dream about it, it opens things up in a very different way. So I think when people are manifesting to really go from the dream state, the dream perception is going to be a better way to start out, to get in that higher vibration, get out of your current reality and just lift yourself so that you can get more clarity on what you really want. Even though it may not even seem possible, it doesn't matter. You dream it, and then the universe will give you what you need as you go.
Exactly, as you go.
Yeah, as you go.
I think also the other thing is that like people think of the spiritual journey is like, okay, so I'm gonna hop on a plane from Toronto and go to Nova Scotia. Like the spiritual journey is lifelong. If you think that you're healed and you're done or whatever the case,
and if you think you are, then you're not living.
Yeah.
If you're not doing anything.
That's the other thing, being present.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So true. So let's look at, what do you think about things that are like more intangible? So the tangible, you've got to hold on. I love horrible puns as well too, by the way.
Love those. I love them.
So that's where people struggle, right? You said you need blind faith, that intangible aspect of spirituality. What else can we kind of add to that for our listeners?
Intangible.
You said a little bit about like blind faith.
Blind faith, but to add with the blind faith would be what you were saying, like being in a dream state, also called visualization. Mm-hmm. Visualizing, you know, the best way to think of it, we all get downloads, is what I like to call downloads, channel. The best way to think of it is like the world, and then around the world we have our atmosphere, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of our atmosphere, imagine a web of consciousness. Mm-hmm. That's where our information is. Like that's where the information always will be. So if you want to really think, like give a visual of how we manifest things, mm-hmm. It is first as a thought, mm-hmm. for our crown, right? Then it gets down to our heart. It's like, do I feel this is right for me? Exactly. Okay, fine, great. I feel like this is right for me. Then it goes down to our solar plexus. Okay, so do I have the will to do this? Mm. Am I going to have, like, is there going to be some action from this? So I feel like that's what goes with the blind faith, is knowing within your heart, like it gets here because we all get ideas. But it's like, does this feel right for me?
Always, always that. Exactly.
And then I think that's why people, and then it's like the fear of unknown. I don't know if it's going to work. So, because I don't know if but it's really, truly understanding the feeling. Because have that all cognizant knowing starts from your heart. And I feel a lot of people think it's within your brain. No, our brain is just observing the things
Exactly.
that we want to do or see or desire. But when it gets down to the heart, that's when you know if it's truly for you and your path. Am I going to do this out of love, or am I going to do this out of fear? Because we only have two decisions when something gets to our heart center.
Yes.
So I feel like that's the best way to use your blind faith is from feeling.
I love it. I think it happens faster. It happens so fast as well too.
It's so fast.
You have a thought. I love the way you described it, but it like happens in an instant.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can have that thought and you're like, oh, you already feel it. You already feel it. But sometimes people get tingles. Like I get goosebumps just talking about it. That's usually my sign. But you feel it. People get like a feeling in their stomach. They may get warm and like, oh, this is so for me. Or they might be like, ooh, my stomach feels knotted. It doesn't, like I feel heavy or queasy. Like it's not for me. And it's right away. But then our brain is like, but what about this? Let's think about this. Or you're like, yes, this is totally for me. And your brain's like, let's make a list. Let's pros and cons. Let's think it out. Because you never know. You just never know. I'm like, I don't want to know because I already feel. So it's okay.
Right. And that's the thing is being able to make your gut feeling, like igniting that gut feeling. And I think that the other thing is when it comes to entrepreneurs, we don't do pros and cons lists. Like, I think that's a big misconception. Like, let's sit with this information. There's nothing to sit with. If it feels good to you, act on it. If it doesn't work, it was an experience, a lesson that you're going to reflect on to do it better the next time.
Exactly.
There's no such thing as like pros. That's really a waste of time. That's a waste of energy.
Complete. Because then you never know. Because you never do.
You never know. You're sitting there thinking about what could happen, what can't happen, or what if.
Yeah.
And you're wasting time on that precious feeling that could just come to fruition into the world by your action.
Exactly. And that's how someone told me once that, once you try something, you have that feeling of being able to do it. So you have that fear because you haven't done it, fear of the unknown. But then once you do it, it becomes a part of your knowing and it's a part of your body. So you don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's easy enough. And then yes or no is for me. But then if you don't ever do it, you will never, ever know. And you'll always be caught in that loop. What if, should I, blah, 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 blah. Like you said, it's just a waste of time.
It is, it's a waste of time. And it also the other thing is that like, just as a true story, I started my YouTube channel like 2011. And I didn't take down any of the videos that I originally put up. I just kept them there.
Yeah.
I wanted people to see like, I had cold feet. I didn't think that I was able to lead the way that I thought I could. So, okay, well, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to study to be a great hairstylist. Really amazing, by the way. Y'all should just.
It's true. She is. It's true.
And I do all hair types. But shameless plug. But
necessary, important.
I don't remember where I was going with that. And then I started my YouTube channel again because of the panorama, what I call the pandemic, guys. I always call it the panorama because it's everywhere. Okay, you can't escape it; it's everywhere. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but everyone keeps it like everyone's seeing that shine in me that I couldn't see for myself. So I was like, screw this, I'm done. And then you learn as an entrepreneur that everyone's pretending. Everyone's just like, doing what I specialize in, and that's my lane. And I'm gonna continue. That's my lane. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
True.
That's it. No, sorry.
That's it. You reach for a microphone. I like this girl. I reach my finger. That's it. That's Is this thing on? Boop, 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 tap, tap. Hello?
I just got a flash of you like going downtown Toronto. That's it. Just talking. How was your day? Talking into your finger?
I do that. I do that quite often. People that know me are like, the microphone. I literally had a microphone that I got, like a plastic one that I used to carry around with me. That's fun.
I was thinking of like just really going around and asking people like, hey, like what do you think? Like, what do I think? Yeah, what do you think? What's the best thing that happened to you? Like, you know, like
I love it. Just random. What do you think?
What do you think?
About what? You tell me. I love it. Good times. Okay.
All right. I really want to touch a little bit about self-care because that's a huge thing right now. To me, self-care is like self-care equates mental health. Like that's it for me. So what does self-care look like for you?
So for me, like self-care, it's like you said, it's mental health. It's so vital to our existence. It is not a luxury. It's a necessity to survive. Like we'll take time for our cars. We make sure that it has the air and then it's pretty and it's shiny and all these things. But what do we do for ourselves? It looks like so many different things. Really, it could just be sitting with yourself. With yourself doesn't mean by yourself or lonely. It means with yourself. Enjoying your time alone. Meditation, going to get your hair done, for example. When you feel different about yourself, everything changes. When you take time to invest for yourself, life looks different. Life feels different. We operate from a different part of ourselves when we feel that peace and that care and that love for ourselves, however that looks. Read a book, have a cup of tea. It's vital, it's important, it has to be done.
Whatever that looks like to you, which is an important thing. Like I have a client where weightlifting is her meditation.
Love it.
And
love it.
The other thing is that like people think like, oh, I have to sit in silence to meditate. But exactly what you said, be with yourself. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult for us to find the right partners, to find the right relationships, the right friends, if we're not able to sit with ourselves and understand what we can enjoy without someone else's company.
So true.
So self-care looks different for everyone. You don't have to, I'm going to repeat that. You do not have to meditate. You don't. You just have to do what works for you. And some people going on a long walk. A long road trip. It's up to you. It doesn't matter. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think when you have that moment of self-care, you've had it because you feel different. Mm-hmm. You don't feel stuck or stressed or busy. You feel like re-energized. It's something that lifts you up. Like we said about your client with the weightlifting. Like that's a physical like transmutation of energy, like physical, getting out. You go for a walk, you go for a run. But not everybody's on that path, right? Some people would, like for me, just to like curl up and maybe watch a little Netflix. Watch some, like just have a little bit of time to just veg, stare up into space. It makes me feel nice sometimes. If I just want to sit on the couch and look at the window, that's what I'm going to do. I'll watch.
Right. Guys, don't listen to Nichola. She Netflixes and chills, okay? She on that chill tip, okay?
Hush.
It's like to you.
Good times.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's like to you.
And music for me, of course, always music.
Oh yeah, you're talking about music, like music, dancing, yeah.
Yeah, even just having the music on, it just changes me depending how I feel, right? I have my playlist, all of them, that I have them when I need them.
That's the other thing is that like it's all about, okay, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if
Completely.
you're listening to music that talks about bees and the birds and the bees and the bees with the bees and the
Yeah, just not kind words. Language is power. What are you listening
hey,
to? What are you putting into your body, into your mind?
language is spells, right? Everything has a vibration. Words
Exactly.
have vibrations. So if everything's vibration and we are spiritual beings that work on energy and frequency, the best way for me, I always do visualization because it's easier for some people to see. So like if
Yep.
you're looking at the world, one person on top of the world, kind of like we are rods that vibrate to a
Exactly.
specific frequency. Now it's up to you where your energy go, where your focus goes, your energy flows. It's up to you what you put in your body or what you're listening to or have around you to resonate on the frequency that works for you.
Exactly.
So music is, and that's, I love to say it like they say universe, like it's all of us harmonically singing, all of us harmonically vibing in order for the universe to be a verse.
Exactly. The one. We are all one in the verse. Like music. Thank you.
Yeah, like music, right?
Yeah.
We're all just vibing to one song. We're all in this one vibrational frequency in this one song. And it's like, okay, what do I want my verse to look like?
Exactly. And you choose it every day, every moment.
Every
right?
moment. Yeah, exactly. That's a whole other thing.
You have those things.
Every moment. You're constantly choosing your reality.
Exactly. And we have those moments where sometimes you just feel the feels. You're having a crap day. Take a minute. Feel the crap.
Feel the crap.
Feel a little bit sorry for yourself. Shed some tears if you need to. Get it out. Let them flow. Get your Kleenex. Get your ugly cry. Get it on, and then choose something different for your life. Just choose. I say, like, pick one good thought. Hold it for 1 minute. Right. Just try for 1 minute to just think. Okay. This makes me feel good. Butterflies, rainbows, whatever it is. Something joyful that you've seen that day. Just hold it for a minute, and something will shift. You might go back into the other realm, but not for long because you can pop back out of it whenever you need to. Just keep doing it as much as you need to throughout the day. We can be intentional with our lives, right? Every minute you choose what you want. People wake up, it's going to be a crap day. Look at the weather outside. Look at this, blah, blah, blah. Well, your life is going to be like that every day. That's what you choose. Yuck. No thanks. It's like when I worked on a cruise ship. We could go to one port. People would come back and be like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I met so many great people. It was so beautiful, la, 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 la. Other people come back and they're like, arms crossed, all huffy. I didn't like it. Everybody was mean. Nobody did this, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, so I think that's probably how your life looks all the time. Probably. Because that's the mindset before they even leave the ship. They've already decided it's going to be great or they decided it's going to be crap. And they look for things to prove themselves right. That's how the mind works.
That's how the mind, so the subconscious mind, whatever question you ask yourself, it's constantly wanting to answer the question. That's why we see synchronicities, because it's looking for the evidence of what you believe.
Exactly.
So if that's the case, then change your belief.
Exactly.
Because you will always look for that evidence.
And that would be your reality of your life until you choose different.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. So we've covered a lot of things today, and it's been awesome. And Teona and I could talk for years, legit years. But, we got to wrap it up at some point. We'll do it again for sure, so stay tuned. So today we talked about, spirituality and what it's like for each person. It's a very individual experience. And honor your experience for what it is. It's important for you to discover what it means to you. Start by making it tangible, because we live in a very visceral world. You start where it's tangible. It helps you to bring your brain into that vibration, that connection to bring you to the next level. You practice trusting yourself and trust your intuition. Ask for those signs. Ask for those things that are going to make you feel that you're on the right path. And self-care is mental health. It's vital. It's a necessity. You must do it. And if telling you right now, you must do it. That is all. Somebody says, well, I can't, I can't take time for myself. You know what you just say? Teona and Nichola said, I got to do it today. So if anybody has a problem, you know where to find us. You just send them all over and we will help you. We are here to support you however we can.
Take it up with us. That's not a problem.
So I think people as well too, like there's things that people might even come across, like we call the episode, people might think you're crazy and people might think that you're delusional. It's like people may not understand where you're coming from, and that's okay. They may think you lost your mind a little bit, and that's okay. They may be like, really? Tarot cards give you guidance? Yeah, they do. Really? Crystals have energy? Yeah, they do. Really? You get messages from the universe? Every day, every minute? Yes, I do. Oh, really? You hear voices and you see dead people? Yes, I do. Or they may downplay what you've experienced. Like, oh, it's just a placebo. It doesn't actually work. But you know what? It works for me. So it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Just own your own journey.
When it comes to science, the strongest treatment that you could ever do is a placebo. That's a scientific fact.
Right. It works.
It works.
It works. So if somebody comes up to you and starts to doubt you or starts to make you doubt yourself, rather, you got to listen closely here. Okay. We got to stop caring what they think. You stop it. I got all my hands going on. I'm like, stop. I'm putting X's up. I'm like, ha, stop it. Deflect. No, like protect your energy, protect your journey, love yourself. You know what's working for you. Trust yourself, listen to your intuition, allow yourself to explore your feelings, and seek out communities that share similar beliefs. Find your people that give you that safe space. People that drain your life, drain your energy, edit them out. Bye-bye. Ciao. Surround yourself with people that lift you up and that help you on your journey.
I love that. That's beautiful. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for having me. It's been great having each other, chatting together. It's been just so nice just having a conversation, like you said, with somebody that gets it. You have that flow, you have that understanding, and you can share how you feel and be heard. I think that's all what we all want and need really for our lives. So I guess maybe we'll just say again how we can reach you when people want to contact you. How do they reach you, Teona?
Absolutely. The best way to reach me is through Instagram, TikTok. I'll even give you my email. So on Instagram, it is Teona Hair. TikTok, it's Teona Beauty Coach. And on YouTube also is just Teona Douglas. You can find me on YouTube. All of my podcasts I put on YouTube. You can even email me support@luxheir, LUXHEIR.com. You can find me in those areas. And like I said, I'm super pumped that we did this. And thanks for having me again.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. I'm looking forward to the next one. And again, for Now Design Life, you can always go to Facebook or Instagram @NowDesignLife, or send an email, nowdesignlife@gmail.com. Tell us both what you think. How did you feel? What came up for you as you were listening? Were you like, yeah, my life, or not so much me? There's probably things that resonated for you. We want to hear about your journey. Share with us. Let us know. We look forward to hearing from you.
And if you guys got this far in the podcast, comment some beautiful purple hearts.
Yay. Yeah. And we just thank you so much for your time, for listening. We honor you for your time. We honor you for who you are in the world. Thanks. Have a great day.